I don't know.
To comment during the Frankly Speaking show, you first need to open the video that is being streamed live. Look for the chat box on the side or bottom of the video player. This is where you can type your message. Click inside the chat box and use your keyboard to type out what you want to say. You can type words, use emojis, or even ask questions. Once you've typed your message, press the enter key on your keyboard or click the send button. Your comment will then appear in the chat for everyone watching the live.
Good day. Glad to be back. Glad to be back after that too long break. Welcome to our viewers and listeners. Melissa Damage continues to dominate our lives and remains the center of conversation for many Jamaicans. That will be so for a long time. We must note that it has divided us too. For some people, it's something that happened to them down west. And that's also an error to believe it's down west alone. Then there are the constant accusations about corruption and debate about partisanship and incompetence in the distribution of relief, and a whole long list of social media highlighted concerns. Suffering is real and continuing for many. Is it time to start considering recovery? And what is that about? We'll speak with President of the Small Business Association of Jamaica, Garnet Reid, who has been seeing small business people in the worst affected parishes. We'll have a look at the life of Lenworth Fulton, former JS president, who's so well articulated and courageously spoke up for another important sector, agriculture. Patrick Maitland, publisher, will join us for that segment. Desmond Richards and Winnie Anderson Brown are our regular commentators, and they're with us today. As usual, you may send our posts your comments and questions as outlined at the start of the podcast here on the YouTube channel, and we will definitely try to respond to them. Remember to like and share our podcast and subscribe to the Frankly Speaking Jamaica YouTube channel. Now, let's get right to it. Well, special welcome to Mr. Garnet Reid, but before we hear from Mr. Reid, I think Desmond is with us, and we want Desmond to tell us his view or his experience or his opinion on what has been happening post Melissa. And after that, we'll hear from Winnie. Desmond, go ahead.
It's frozen.
All right, Winnie, let's start with you because Desmond's not ready.
Okay.
Winnie, what have you been hearing? What's your impression? We are going back weeks, of course, because it's nearly 7 weeks now. But what's your impression of what's been happening?
Melissa has brought out the best and the worst sides of us as Jamaicans, and where it's not just the roofs that went and the social fabric of the society. There's more revelation as to how we live, how we treat each other. All of that is exposed. Melissa exposed all of that. And the fact that our political system is not the best that we can have, because the members of parliament, they serve their party and not the people. And that is highlighted in the cries all over Jamaica that some people are getting more than they should, while others are starving. So that I see revealed. But there's another side. People talk about those out west, as you said earlier, but so many other people are suffering, but because they're not out west, they don't get highlighted. People don't realize the problems. And people in other sections of the island are hurting as well, just because they're related to the people out west that are suffering. So it is not just out west, it is all Jamaicans who are suffering. And
How do you think the whole thing has been managed, Winnie? I mean, this is an opportunity as well. Disaster presents opportunities. But how do you think the whole thing has been managed?
well,
Handled?
well, as far as I am concerned, it is really not the whole thing. You have so many different groups managing. For example, there is a group out of Trinidad that I heard about for the very first time, but I'm sure they have been around for a while, called Is There Not a Cause? And they came to Jamaica and they did their own assessment of what is needed and decided where they would go to assist. And one of the places that they decided to go is a place where I know someone who could not reach there because there was completely cut off. But a lot is happening. Different groups are managing what they're doing well. Those who are cooking and serving food, they are doing well. I suspect that is the internal systems that are not doing well. But all the other systems are working and working well. People are happy about the help that they're getting. Some people are, depending on which group you have. The churches are managing their congregations, and the districts where those congregations are, those people are getting help from the church. So you have so many different groups doing the best that they can, doing very, very well. Where we hear the bickering and the talking is in the political system, the political divide, the political directorate. That is where you hear the most bickering. But you have many foreign groups out here doing very well, and the churches are doing a wonderful job. And as I mentioned churches, I must mention Bethel Temple Apostolic Church, Maypen. When I decided that, okay, I am going, the course that I do, that cost $300 US, but I decided to waive the cost if I could find a place where I can do the training and they won't charge me for the space. They did not charge me for the space. So I was able to train more people who can help people with their emotional well-being. So many things are happening, although they're not publicized. You have the good, the bad, and the ugly. But I believe the good outweighs the bad.
Thank you. I want to welcome again Mr. Reed. Welcome, sir. Mr. Reed, I want to start. Thank you. And I know you have been on the road quite a bit. Start by telling us what type of businesses make up the Small Business Association of Jamaica.
Well, it's a number of businesses make it up. We have the tourism sector. We have manufacturing, agriculture, service provider, restaurant, dressmaker, shoemaker, and the list goes on and on and on.
And you have been on the road to see some of these business people. Tell us about that. Where you have been? I think you were in Westmoreland yesterday.
Yes, we have been to a number of parishes, though. We have been to St. Elizabeth. We have been to Westmoreland, Savalamar, and Montego Bay. Let me tell you something. The worst of all is Westmoreland. Mm-hmm. Westmoreland, I think, need a new city. That's how I can put it. We need a new city in Westmoreland. We need hospital, a police station. We need markets. We need business places. And down there, it's a catastrophe. Mm-hmm. And therefore, the SBAJ is appealing to the government, appealing to the private sector, and appealing to international organizations to expedite the process of helping to rebuild Westmoreland. Because what I see on the ground yesterday, I used to see these things on the movie or in pictures, but I see it in living colors.
And what were the people saying to you? What were people saying to you?
I saw people with placard. We want help. What I did yesterday, we take down truckload of tarpaulin, we take down care packages, building supplies, clothing, and so on, so medical supplies and so on, and tools. Because people have been asking for tools, and food. We take down food as well, because we realize that Central Kitchen will be pulling out shortly. And so what happened is that we want some of the cook shop, the restaurant, to start working, working, so that when Central Kitchen pull out, they can start up their business. Yeah. In fact, I saw a gentleman who have a cook shop, and cooking. He said he's in business for what, 40 years? No, I think 5 years, and he was cooking all the different menu for the community, and he didn't have a top warning, and we stopped and we gave him one, and he really appreciated it. These are some of the things that is happening. And these are micro and small business operator where that is concerned.
So those people, what is their main need? Those small
their main needs, Franklin, is that they need funding. They need funding to start their businesses. And I recommend to the government that we need to give these micro and small business operator $500,000 to start up, push start. Because let me tell you something, Franklin. Small businesses is the engine of growth for the Jamaican economy. And when you have small business startup, it will help big business, and it will help economy and help back commerce to get back and running. So Westmoreland, I think, is one of the worst parish that was it. I was trying to get out of Savalamar, Westmoreland before dark, and let me tell you something. The place was it was. Let me tell you something. Word cannot come out of my mouth. I think I was in no man's land. Yeah. And again.
So those businesses that you spoke with, those business people you spoke with, they are saying they need specific help in terms of funds. And why would they get those funds from the usual sources that they would get them from?
Well, I mean, Franklin, let me tell you something. The bank, there's no bank down there, no ATM. That is number one. And number two, I don't think loans right now will help these people. These people need grants. People need grants. And I'm appealing to the Development Bank of Jamaica and the government of Jamaica to please grant these people grant. Go down there, do a site visit, speak to them, and give these small business operator grant so that they can push start commerce, push start the economy. Right? I say to one young lady, I'll give her some tools, and I think she do carpentry. I never know women do carpentry, and I saw the place. I saw our tools wash away, and I said to her, I don't want to wish you a Merry Christmas because it's not going to be merry. But what I can wish you a Happy New Year and hope that 2026 will happy and bring prosperity. And so another place in Savalamar, I went to Savalamar, and people have been waiting on us from 10 o'clock. We reached there 1 o'clock. And when I see people, I say 150 people.
Waiting on what? What are waiting on you for?
Waiting on us for some waiting on us for funding, which we didn't have. We give them some tools, some people some tools. We give some people some tarpaulin because the shop blow down, and we have to give them something to start. And we gave them food packages and some
some
water.
What happened to the relief for these people before that? This is 6 weeks gone. What has happened to relief?
Yeah, but some, as your earlier caller said, some of the area people can't reach. People can't reach the hills and the valley, and and the shops. Franklin, when you go through, you will see dozens of shops blow down, right? And these are some of the things that is happening. I was in Montego Bay, flying out a couple of weeks ago, and I saw about 14 shops closed. And I was wondering, I asked why these shops closed, and I was told that the owner for these shop roof blow down. So they are busy trying to get back their home together, open their shops in Montego Bay. So these are some of the things that is happening where commerce is concerned. And there is I think we need to coordinate properly. Coordinate and to ensure that commerce get back and running. We want commerce to get back and running. It's not there. It's not there.
How do we get that coordination? And I agree with you that there should be coordination, but who's to lead on that?
Well, of course, you know that the Prime Minister made some changes at the ODPM recently. I was hoping that it would be better, and it's not. It's not better right now. And so we need to go back to the drawing board. We need to bring back NGO, bring the Jamaica Manufacturers Association, bring the private sector organization, the Small Business Association, all these together around the table and planned. Are we going to give out financial support? Are we going to give out building supplies? And we have to ensure that we don't give one person 2 times, and we don't, and so on and so forth. But it's going to be a coordinated effort, Franklin. And so it is. I'm not sure if it's coordinating properly. And I've been getting calls from overseas, from international organizations, and that is their concern. We are not doing a coordinated thing. I cannot believe 6 weeks and the place looked like it just happened yesterday when you go down there. Have you been down there, Franklin?
Yes, I've been to St. James, I've been to St. Elizabeth.
Right.
I haven't been to Westmoreland, but I've seen and I've been told by colleagues what's happening down there. I'm concerned that this disaster is turning out in the way that it is, because I thought that it would offer us an opportunity. We don't want a
disaster turn out to be another disaster.
Exactly. So we had an opportunity to change a lot of things, change a lot of processes, change a lot of structures. Even the shops that you are talking about. What types of shops are they? Are they going to be just chaka back on the roadsides?
No.
Are the markets going to be the same type of markets that we have had disgraceful places for years?
Part of Westmoreland, is a tourist area, and I would like we have decent shops for these people, right? I saw a lady with
decent shops for all of us, for all of the people.
I saw a lady with a shop. You see, nice shop. It was on the side, and I said, "What do you do here?" She said, "She do ice cream. She do cook food, and the schools buy from her. Tourists stop and buy from her." And she said, when the storm come, they thief out everything, all our fridge, our stove, our
that happens.
So that lady after all over. So I'm not sure if 500,000 really can solve that problem. So
but to come back to your 500,000, your 500,000 before Winnie takes, and we are welcoming your comments and questions. So you just send them through, and we will get to them if we can. But before your 500,000, let me just ask you. Who have you spoken to about that 500,000? Who have you lobbied?
Good question, and I'm going to tell you who I speak with. I've had a meeting with the Minister of Investment, Industry and Commerce, Senator Harbin Hill. Yeah. And in that meeting, we had stakeholders like the PSOJ, Digicel, big companies, Grace Kennedy and Rare Neville. And in that meeting, I mentioned that we need to give micro and small business operator $500,000 for a push start. The minister said, "No, Garnet. I'm bringing it to Parliament, and I'm going to ask some more." He told me that, frankly,
to ask some more than 500,000.
That is correct. To date, nothing is happening. I talked to the Development Bank of Jamaica, Dr. Lowe, I said, Dr. Lowe, we need to make grant funding available for the SME sector, especially the small SME sector, because medium-sized business can help themselves, right? And he said, yes. Again, Franklin, I don't know what is happening, but nothing is happening. It do not look good. After 6 weeks, nothing is happening on the ground, and it's not look good for the international community. We have get $6.8 billion. It need to spend in those areas. It was given for a certain purpose, and I am hoping
that's a loan. It's not a get that one. That's a loan.
Right?
We have got a whole heap of other funds.
Franklin, we get some grants. We get some grants.
We have got some grants. And yes,
we get some grants.
And we have got all sorts of things.
We need and we get our generator. As I said, I drive through the place dark and oh God, and I said these generator come and not been given to people who need it most. It is crazy what is happening, and I am pleading to the private sector, pleading to government, pleading to the international organization to go down there and to deal with this matter as expeditiously as possible. People are suffering. People need help.
Mr. Reed, I'm glad that you have seen it directly. I'm glad that you.
Franklin, when I see business people is begging. Before I come onto this program, I get 6 calls. People is begging 2 tin of milk to start up, beg a 2-burner stove to start back. It's just crazy is happening. So we need a coordinated effort to ensure that the micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises get back on track for commerce. Central Kitchen will be pulling out next week. We need those other cook shop to start, restaurant, and so on, so that when Central Kitchen pull out, then we can pull in. We need to get back on it running.
A lot is being said about that Central Kitchens and and who is being providing the meals and so forth. But I'm just concerned. I'm just concerned that the situation is as bad as you found it, because others have talked about it. Ordinary guys on the street who don't really necessarily have any businesses, but they are suffering. They are suffering, and as I said in the opener, the suffering is real. So what is your next step, now, Mr. Reed?
Well, my next step is to what I see on the ground. I'm going to make representation to the Prime Minister, to the Minister of Investment, Industry and Commerce, who that's where his portfolio fall. I'm going to talk back to DBJ, and I'm going to talk back to Exim Bank. But when you talk back to the banks, because they call me, big banks call me and said, but Mr. Reed, I gave the government, NCB told me they give the government 450 million. Scotiabank, I think
all
the government.
Almost all the banks have given money.
So where is the money, Franklin? This is not
very good question, sir. It's not just the money.
These are
not just the money from the bank.
These are grants, and I am calling up on the government of Jamaica to expedite the process of distribution to help the micro, small, and medium-sized enterprise to come back on track. Let me tell you something.
Before you go on, let's really just pick up. Just to pick up some comments, and then we'll come back to you, Mr. Reed. We're coming right back to you. Don't move.
Thanks, Joshua, for the comment that's there. Okay. Agree with Mr. Garnett Reed. A broad-based coordinated effort is required. And that is from Grace Nackley. Yes. Here's a question from Grace as well. My question is, how can Jamaican citizens be assured that the hurricane grants and loans will be spent in the hurricane-affected areas?
Good question.
It's a very good question, but I'm also concerned about. I don't know if either of you know that I'm calling on you suddenly to speak to it, Winnie, or Mr. Reed, but how much assistance, how much aid in cash and kind has been received in Jamaica? Is there a breakdown anywhere? I know that it was said to be promised at a press conference, something like that was promised. How much has been given to Jamaica to be given to people or to be loaned to people? How much? We have any idea at all?
Well, I was told that it's $6.8 billion.
No, there's a difference. You might be mixing up what the government is.
But that also, I think that that's cash and kind as well. That's
No,
what I was
you
told.
might be mixing up what has been offered to the government in terms of loans, that in terms of loan assistance that is supposed to come. Loans. I'm talking about the assistance that has come from overseas Jamaicans, individual groups.
Franklin, there are
I'm talking about local people who have given.
Let's
talking about groups like yours.
Billions of dollars have been given in loans. Remember, we have a drawdown of $24 billion for insurance. Don't forget that, you know.
Yes.
Okay, let's take this comment. Let's
Yes.
take this comment. It's a timely one. It says, Mr. Hill was given more than he's capable of handling.
That is, I think he's mentioning Senator Auburn Hill there. That's what
Yes,
it means.
he says Mr. Hill. Yes. So that's
So, Mr. Reed,
timely comment.
I'm saying, and I'm reminding
Franklin, hold on a minute. Franklin, if we don't address this matter as expeditiously as possible, the whole thing is going to blow up, and it's not going to look good. We're going to have serious problem in this country. We're going to have a social unrest. And let me tell you something, the international community is watching. Civil society is watching. And I am appealing to the stakeholders, the authority, who have the power and who have the funds available. Enough money is there to rebuild back Jamaica, to rebuild back these parishes. We need to go now and to ensure that it's done.
And I agree with you, and I agree with you strongly on it. You know, you went, and I keep repeating it, I keep reminding people of your bona fides in this, that you went and saw what was happening in St. James. I know when you went there, I know a lot of members of your team were a little bit shocked by what they saw.
There was.
And I know that you have gone on into Westmoreland as well. Did you say you went to St. Elizabeth?
We went to St. Elizabeth, part of St. Elizabeth.
Okay,
and we met some people with
and I'm
all
telling you, those parts are the devastated parts. But
that is correct.
Even in St. Anne, which I know.
Okay, I have been getting calls for St. Anne. Business people, small business, I don't reach there yet. I've been getting calls from
Mr. Reed, I am telling you, up in the south of St. Anne, small businesses have been devastated. The failure of the return of no electricity, no internet. People can't start their little cook shop. People can't start their little chicken rearing. People can't do their preparation of chicken for the market that was left. People's crops have been devastated. I spoke to a farmer today on Wednesday. In his whole community, nobody has seen any of the RADA officers. We soon come to agriculture because we are joined by Patrick. It is a very, very bad situation. It hasn't got to many people yet, but people are already talking about it's getting to me.
Yes, it's getting there. The social unrest. The social unrest is triggering, and we have to be careful.
Okay, yes. Here is this person who says at the state level, the coordination of the government appears very inadequate.
It seems so to us. It seems so when you talk to the people out there. It seems so. I'm not hearing of praises for where they are at and what they are doing yet. I'm not hearing of that.
I'm sorry, and that's from Winnie Richards.
Okay. Go ahead, Mr. Reed. Mr. Reed, go ahead. Is he hearing
frozen. Me? It seems as if he's frozen. So.
Yes, welcome back.
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, I am saying to you though that I am concerned about the Ministry of Agriculture, RADA,
Hold on, we're going to go there, Mr. Reed. Mr. Reed, we're going to go there. But before we go there, let's bring in Desmond, who has been having some difficulties getting through. Desmond, go ahead. I wonder what if you can tell us about your sense of what is happening with the relief efforts.
You've got mail.
Desmond?
What is that? What Gmail?
Desmond?
Are you hearing me?
Yes,
Now
sir.
we-
Go ahead. Go
now
ahead,
we
Desmond.
are.
Go ahead.
Are you hearing me?
Yes, go ahead.
Now.
Go ahead, Desmond.
Yes. Okay, are you hearing me now, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Go ahead. Just go
Well,
ahead.
Well, yes. So we are faced with the most devastating hurricane. Well, at least I can say that is the most devastating hurricane that I have seen, I have experienced. Now, Franklin, one of the things that has to be done, we're talking about building, but let me point out that in all the affected parishes, you have hundreds and thousands in some cases of persons who are landless. They were living on lands that were not theirs. And this is one of the reasons why why we have seen so many board houses. So this reconstruction that we are talking about has to start with a serious land reform program to make land accessible to the victims. That is one of the things that has to be done. Right now, as we speak, there are persons aid at all, right? Because one of the things you have to remember, that the rural areas are not like the corporate area, right? Some areas communities are wide and far apart, and the entrance to some of these areas, as you know, were never in good condition. So the hurricane came and smashed the roads, and people are not accessible. So as we speak, Franklin, there are thousands of Jamaicans who are suffering right now. They are going to have a white Christmas. And as I said before, that it has to start, the recovery program for these people has to start with a land reform program. And I don't hear them talking about this. So that is what I have to say initially.
What's your impression of the coordination of the relief so far?
Poor, very poor.
Desmond?
Pitchy patchy, because one of the things that is that the government response has been sporadic, right? I can tell you something though, the government is a bit confused, because one of the things that you must bear in mind that they have no experience. They have never experienced this type of disaster where entire towns have been wiped.
Yeah, but on a point of order, Hurricane Gilbert on the Edisiaga was Siaga did do a good job where Hurricane Gilbert is concerned.
Yeah.
So,
Desmond, the fact that we have a disaster which has never been seen before. There are people who are available. There's organization that can be put to the test to do the job. What it seems is that there are so many people, so many indicators that things are not running well. All right, we have lost Desmond. Mr. Hello, Mr. Reed.
Let's take this comment about Autumn Betty, the community in Manchester. This is Autumn Betty is a community in Manchester that suffered severe damage from the hurricane. The community seems forgotten. I was making the point that there are sections of Manchester that nobody's talking about, and these sections have been devastated as well.
Yes. And that's the point I was making, that for many people, it's the western parishes.
Yes.
And it's not true that is all that it is. And so that has also caused a divide between, because there are people, when I told Desmond last week again that I'm still 2 miles from Runaway Bay, there's still no electricity, still no internet, and not even to speak of Brownstown, big community, most of it still don't have any electricity up to yesterday. Many parts of it and further. And that's not Westmoreland or St. Elizabeth, that's St. Anne.
Yeah.
That's not West.
And Mile Gully in Manchester is not West.
The last comments here, Mr. Reid, before we move on. We want you to
again, we need to get back commerce, micro and small business up and running. Failure to do so, it would not help the economy.
And you have been making that point, I must underline that point, because small businesses are known to be the second parts of the society, in any society.
Small businesses buy flour from big businesses.
That generate wealth at that grassroots level, that generate jobs, quick turnover of jobs, etc. And it's well known. It's a point
purchase from big business.
Yes.
It purchase from big business. So we need these small business operators to get back on running so that they can pay the insurance, their car loans, their mortgages, and so on and so forth. And if we don't, that's correct. And if we don't get these businesses up and running, I noticed people mention about Westmoreland and St. Elizabeth. We have to talk about Manchester, St. Anne, Trelawney, and over. There are small businesses who get affected too in those areas. And we, for the next few weeks, we will be going in those and get the data. We are getting the data. We're working close now with the Companies Office of Jamaica to find out some of these small business places who registered. Because frankly, what I realized, a lot of these small businesses didn't register. And we are urging them to go and register your businesses.
That's a very important part of being able for help to
that is correct, and that's where the problem lies too. And as I'm going to say in closing, that
now you had mentioned something about RADA, and that stopped you, Mr. Reid. You had mentioned
I sit, you see, on a committee called Agro Invest. They have $100 million to give out to small farmers. And they are telling me that they are only going to give that money for the selected few. There are farmers in all these parishes that were wiped out from Hurricane Melissa. I have some small farmers who do chicken. The whole our chicken dead. The goat, the pig, everything washed like dead. And
the fruit trees.
That is correct. And we need these organizations, Agro Invest, RADA, 4-H, the Ministry of Agriculture. They need to start do a coordinated effort where agriculture is concerned. I went into the market last week and there was nothing there. So we have to go now and depend on import, produce, and vegetables. I did call upon the ministry and the government for them to drop the duty on these items to help the Jamaican consumer. And if we don't get commerce up and running, the PIOJ say that we're going to have a recession in 2026. We're heading for big trouble. We need to fix the problem from the root. We're heading for big trouble, and I warn them.
Mr. Reid, before you leave, I want Patrick.
Desmond mentioned
I'm going to bring in
about
Patrick to respond to those comments you made about agriculture, because Patrick has his finger on the pulse, so to speak. Patrick, would you like to respond to those comments?
I want to wish of them.
The ones about the agriculture sector and RADA and that committee that has $100 million for select farmers.
Okay, what I really understand is that the ministry is streamlining the effort to support farmers. Um, I'm not on the ground all the time, but my understanding is that things are being streamlined up to since
What do you
we
mean by streamline, Patrick? Patrick, what do you mean by streamline?
meaning things are being distributed. Farmers are getting stuff. The farmers that really matters are getting stuff, and it's not perfect, but they are getting the material that is required. And the ministry and RADA and the different commodity organizations, they're on the ground
We
delivering.
need to
I
move
suppose I'm
faster.
telling that people up at Cave Valley and Alexandria and what's the other community? I can't remember the name. Who I spoke with. So they haven't seen any agricultural officers at all. Any RADA people, any of those people at all.
That's what I was told.
Yes, parish.
Well, all right. So I can't speak exclusively or in real total the affirmative for the ministry, no rather. But what I know most time, farmers always say that they don't see this and they don't see that. They don't see this officer. When is
You
the
mean the
person?
lying? You mean the farmers lying?
I think so. Yes, sometimes they are lying.
Really?
Sometimes,
No.
sometimes. Listen,
Patrick,
remember,
sometimes some is lying, but it's not every one of them lying. Yesterday we went and give out agriculture tools, and we was the first to go there to
Where
get
you
some
went
tools
to?
in
Where?
Savalamar. In Savalamar.
You were the
There are
first
lots of farmers down there that was right out. We know, speaking to embassies and High Commission to help them if they can donate seed for these farmers.
And
The call coming to us. We get the call from small farmers, and we have to address them the best we can. So we need a coordinated effort where agriculture is concerned. They are the food basket. We need to move fast and deal with it. 6 weeks ago we had this hurricane. If they had planted some pepper or
Hallelujah.
sweet pepper, we could be reaping now.
all right.
Patrick,
So,
I was going to make that point. It's 6 weeks gone, you know, Patrick.
yes, but up
So
to,
Pakchoy, Kalalo, and those will be coming back now.
I saw up to about 3-4 weeks ago, the RADA and the ministry outline. I don't remember the value or the amount of seeds and
Yeah.
that they have been giving out. So I don't know. Something must be wrong. But I've read the report and I've seen where the items are slated for distribution up to 3-4 weeks ago. So I'm surprised to hear all of that now.
Well,
Are
I
you
will be.
aware?
Hmm?
Are you aware, Patrick, of what is happening now with regard to the 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 small farmers in like within the JS and so forth? Are you aware of what is happening to them and what is happening? Particularly, I wanted to ask about food imports.
All right.
Food imports now.
All right. So the minister spoke some time ago that they have definitely plans to increase the importation of the items that are in short supply or that they expect to be in short supply. So this would be some of the fruits and vegetables.
Must be
Right.
duty free. Must be duty free.
Well, you see, all right. You see, the problem is no, Garnet. You're trying to attack 2 points, right? The price at which it reaches consumers, right? That's why you say it must be duty free. But you also remember you have a domestic market that you still need to protect. And nobody's talking about removing the tax totally from food items that are being produced locally. I want you to address that. The government still
Patrick,
has a tax on egg.
Patrick. When Hurricane Melissa start, I call the custom, the commissioner of custom, and I say to her, we need to remove duty and the costs of bringing barrel. And she said, yes, Mr. Reed, you're right. And I asked her for an extension, and she said, yes. And I'm going to ask her for another extension for the barrel to continue duty free for for January, because
Okay,
people need food.
so what about the input costs that farmers still have to pay taxes on? Why don't you talk about that too? You're only talking about the importation of the food, don't tax it. But what about the taxing the items that produce the food? That's still being
And,
done.
and, 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 and
Before
Patrick, this is what we need.
before you
Patrick, this
answer,
is where we need all hands on deck. What we can remove, We remove what we can put on, we put on, because we this is a catastrophe like no other. So we need all hands on deck to do what we can do.
Let's bring in this statement now. Yes, from Grace McLean. She says coordinated effort is needed for the agricultural sector, which would reduce the concerns by farmers. Transparency and accountability are important.
Very important.
So who is Grace McLean? Who is that?
I think Grace McLean is
You
a
know, say.
financial person.
You're reading.
This is a comment.
She's reading.
I'm reading a comment.
She's reading
A comment that came.
All right,
in, yeah.
I got you. So
Okay, Patrick, can you tell us? Can you give us a sense of where the overall effort is now? Have they determined what the losses have been from the farming sector, especially I don't want to just say small farming sector, but the farming sector, and what is the immediate response? Because now it's 6 weeks gone, so can you give us a sense of that you have followed or covered?
So the World Bank, in its what they call a rapid assessment, said the damage is 62.5 billion Jamaican dollars. That's about
2.5 billion Jamaican dollars lost.
No man, 62.5.
62.5
billion. That's what World Bank is saying. That's about 20% of the
GDP.
Agriculture GDP. The government, however, first put it at roughly 30 billion.
Yeah.
And then after this, the minister is saying that yes, it could be around 50 billion. So they are not totally dismissing the World Bank account, because apparently the World Bank used some matrix or some other things to evaluate it that they did not use. They look at the infrastructure and some other things. I don't know how it reached so far, right?
Don't look too much at their analysis, but that is losses that have been suffered by the farmers.
Well, yes. So it is both material loss as well as the infrastructure.
Right? How is that going to be made up now? In other words, how do people who have suffered those losses, and those losses also prevent you from creating new wealth, in other words, new crops, how is that going to be taken care of? How are those people going to be assisted?
Well, they are still assessing, doing individual or ascertaining the damage that has been done by that individual farmers has experienced. Because you would understand that during this time is a lot of lies, there's a lot of over exaggeration, and it's so
lot of lies and exaggeration.
Yes, it is definitely.
Yes.
Because one of the things that is affecting agriculture right now.
Well, you come there, Sir Patrick. I don't understand how you get there.
Meaning that the farmers
you mean a farmer who says he lost 200 chicken,
and sometimes it's not true.
Never had one chicken, right? Frankly. Never had one chicken. Never had a cook.
That's right. But notwithstanding that, what happened to is that
I find that hard to believe.
Oh yes,
go ahead.
So what is also the big problem now is that the last census on agriculture that was done was 2006. That's what nearly.
So we don't really have any data. We don't really have
any reference data, base data to say yes, Franklin has 50 acres of goat, of bananas. They don't really have it. So a lot of guesswork is being taking place. But what I understand, though, the government has a Ministry of Agriculture has a committee, a task force that is working on that. It involves people in the private sector as well. And they are assessing the situation and then determining how the distribution. So far, they have started the distribution of seeds and fertilizer and planting materials as well as some pesticide. I don't know the level of it, but I know that has been done. I got the report that is being done. However, there would still be farmers who would
So,
say,
Patrick, there are going to be food for Christmas and vegetables.
yes, in some areas.
Good
Remember,
question.
most of those foods, some of them, understand, yes, some will be available for Christmas. Christmas is 2 weeks away.
All imported. Now, Patrick, you expect the prices to moderate because the prices that are seen in the markets now. Mr. Reed said he went to market and didn't
Yes.
say anything much. I also did the same thing last week. You don't say anything much, but the prices, you expect the prices to moderate
No,
because the prices, Jamaicans have never seen these prices that are in the market.
never.
And some hotels that is opening are saying that they have not getting no Jamaican produce.
Right. But you see, remember, you cannot expect the bounce back to happen so quick because the bulk of the damage was done in the parish that produces the most. St. Elizabeth, Manchester.
Yeah, but Patrick, if we had start quickly, we would have had vegetable by now. Vegetable and corn by now.
I think they hit the ground. I think they hit the ground in most cases, especially in St. Elizabeth. But it's just that you have to remember that people's personal lives were out. People didn't have light, no water.
Yeah, I understand that as well.
And the houses
we need to move faster. We need to move.
But you're giving the impression as if the actual planting is being done by a government agency. That's not the case. It's all
the actual what? The actual what?
Planting of food or whatever is being done by a government agency. It's not
done by the farmers, but the government have to put all the necessary tools in place to ensure that happen. And I'm saying we're getting report from farmers that is not done.
Okay,
Patrick, we are dealing with people's lives, and we have to be real. We have to be real, Patrick. Because no matter what is our political preferences, we have to be real and look on people's life. Right. When I went down yesterday, I tell them I'm not here. I'm not coming in red or green or orange. I'm coming to Jamaica, to the people of Jamaica, to ensure that we get that commerce up and running. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, got it. And I want to be the
same. Patrick, you know me. You know me, Patrick. You know me.
Yes. And I'm saying to you, I'm not here as a spokesman for the ministry or anybody. All I'm saying.
No, we're asking you from your knowledge point of view, something that you follow. Tell us what is happening. That's what.
And what I think is happening is that they are distributing planting materials. They are distributing fertilizer, pesticide, and all of that, right? But what I think the challenge and the fact that things don't start fully in terms of the farmers getting on board. Remember, they have personal problem. Houses gone, no light, no water. So they're not gonna start the farming until their personal situation has improved. And if you notice, the areas that get back their light, electricity, and all of that, they are moving up. They are doing stuff. Right? I'm not saying that what is being done is perfect. No way it's perfect. But
actually, from your standpoint, and you are in touch with a lot of people in the diaspora. How do they feel about what's happening in Jamaica? What they see? Lots of them have sent their money, sent generators, sent tarpaulins, sent all sorts of stuff. How do they feel? At least in the northeast where you are off.
Good question.
What do you feel about what's happening in Jamaica?
All right. So first of all, everybody are sympathetic, and everybody is moving on to help to get things done. People feel that in some cases the resources they are sending is not being properly channeled. Right? That's one concern.
That's very serious. It's very serious.
Other people do feel that people are grateful and they are really trying their best to improve the situation. Right, so it's a mixed bag. Some people are also very pessimistic about, the pace at which things are going. Just like what you and Garnet is saying, they're not pleased with the pace at which it's going overall. Right. Yeah. Other people believe that over time it should improve as long as the criminal elements that is in the system, the corrupt people who are in the system, because you have to understand right now. I see so many people having hurricane relief effort, right? And
it means putting on something to raise funds.
Something, GoFundMe, all type of people having stuff. And sometimes we know some of these people that these people are just people who look at money, right? And some people will tell you straight up. I hear people call me and say, how can they make some money right now in agriculture with what's going on, right?
Make money off the suffering of people.
Yes. What can be imported, whatever. But they're not totally wrong still, because I see where the government allocated 450 million as incentive for farmers. Now, that's a lot of money. Those money are being spent in the input supply side. So the fertilizer people, the chemical people, all of those people are going to be making some money out of that. So the point is, one, who will get the relief supply? Is it the farmers that really need it, or if we go into friends, family, or political cronies? Right?
It's scammed off. Patrick, when you're in the close of the program, so we have to spin to. We have to talk about a man who really stood up for farmers, and I want you to tell us about a man who, Leonard Fulton, who really was courageous in standing up for farmers. We don't have a lot of time. He passed this past week, and as we are saying, and as I was saying, so I feel obliged to mention that we had a shocking. Society was shocked today. But tell us first about Mr.
Not Fulton.
Yes, Fulton.
Yes.
Sorry.
So Fulton, I met this gentleman at least 30 years.
You have to be quick, I have 2 minutes.
Yes. Well, he was that type of a leader that would he was a very sincere leader. He always seemed to look out and advocate him, right? Even though he may have a political views on matters, you really never see his political views pops up in the arena where it should not, right? So
Yes.
even when I remember when the government terminated his contract with RADA, and a lot of people were upset, right? Well, it's not really a termination. His contract finished and they didn't renew it. And it was a really big thing. And I was surprised. Everybody within the several people from both sides of the political aisle came out and said, no, you can't treat Fulton like this, right? I'm a JLP, and when the PNP was in power and Fulton was at RADA, he'd make sure this happened, right? I'm a PNP, and when JLP was in power, he makes this happen. So he was that type of a man that didn't try to mix his opinion with, and he respect people's opinions. He was also,
and he was a thinking man, and he was very strong on food security.
Don't let me forget this. So when I met him first, he was really the executive director of the College of Agriculture Foundation. This was a foundation set up to help the new college. The College of Agriculture was fairly new in setup, and they need to generate money, and they need to help with scholarship. So they operate a farm, and they seek scholarship for the students as well as staff. And even after the program finished, he was so aggressive in raising money still. To
30 seconds, Patrick. 30 seconds.
Right. But the agricultural sector has lost a tower of strength. He was a mentor to me and many others. Always look out for the younger set of guys. And
he was a regular contributor to your magazine, the Agriculture.
And he was, of course. Right. In fact, I have about 2 articles right now editing for him to put in the paper. Right?
Yeah.
Franklin, quickly. I had the opportunity of working with Mr. Fullerton when I was at RADA. I was there. Okay. Fullerton, right. When I was at RADA. And that gentleman never showed no political influence and no time at all. I think he was a remarkable man, a man who rebuilt agriculture. And he will be sadly missed. I'm hereby recommend that the government of Jamaica give this man an official funeral. And name one of the agriculture building called the Fullerton building somewhere. I'm recommending it.
Fulton building. Okay, before we close, we have to express our condolences to the family of CEO of the RGR Greener Group.
Who is that?
Mr. Smith passed.
What Smith?
What's his first name? Mr. Smith.
This is Andrew Smith.
No, his first name
The
is
former
Smith.
CEO.
The former CEO. He was made CEO last year, January.
Oh Lord.
And the RJR family is reeling. The members are reeling from the loss. And we express our condolences.
Yes.
That's our show for this week. Remember, you can watch the program at any time on the YouTube channel. Share with a friend and remember to subscribe to the channel. Special thanks to our regular commentators, Winnie Anderson Brown and Desmond. Had a lot of difficulties today getting through, but he did come in for a little while. Mr. Reed, Garnet Reed, a powerful man battling out there, he says, for the people.
Farmers and all the small businesses.
Sorry, I didn't say Anthony Smith. I should have said it's Anthony Smith, CEO of Lena RJ Group. Right. Battling there, and Patrick was been always helpful, editor and publisher of the Agriculturalist. Thanks, Mr. Reed. I wish you and your team all the best. And I wish you all the grants that you want and get the sector back up and fast. Thanks, Winnie. And special thanks to graphic artist, producer Joshua Black, and to our valued viewers. Thank you all. On behalf of our team, I'm Frankly McKnight.
I wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year when it comes.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Patrick, I didn't know that you knew. Hold on.